Hey, this is Rick Kasalage, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, what I wanted to go through are 4 must-do anterior pelvic tilt stretches. And I'll get Donnelly to demonstrate them, and she'll go through the first one. Good, so it's foam rolling out the back. And how this one's working is, so we have a full foam roller which we'll use for this exercise and we'll use for the next exercise. Now, this one's a 3-foot foam roller. You can get away with a 1-foot foam roller. You should be able to get any of these at any kind of department store, and if you can't find it at your local department store, you can get it online or at like a fitness store near you. Now you're going to take the foam roller, you're going to put it around the pelvis area, you're going to press it up against the wall so your pelvis area is pushing the foam roller up against the wall. You're going to move your feet a little bit away from the wall, and then you're going to squat down and move that foam roller from your pelvis, up your lower back to where you reach the lower part of your mid back, and then back up. So straightening the legs and then coming back down again. Bending through, good. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 4, time would be smooth controlled movement with a quick stop at the end position, and the intensity for this would be light. So what we're really doing, the purpose of this is self-massaging the muscles in the pelvis and in the low back area in order to help improve the movement in the pelvis. Okay, now moving on to the second exercise. Good, so it's foam rolling out the hip flexor. So we've utilized the full foam roller. Donnelly, starts with it just at the top part of her hip, and then or pelvis, and then rolls through, and then back to the start, and then rolls through. So she's really targeting that front of the hip and the hip flexors. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1. Repetitions I'd start off with are 4, and 1 repetition is moving down and moving back up. The intensity for this one is light. The time, smooth controlled movement with a quick stop at the end position and then back to the start movement. And the purpose of this is to loosen up the muscles in the anterior part of the hip in order to loosen up the pelvis so it moves more freely. And this one is more of a self-massage exercise. Okay, now moving on to the third one. So this one doesn't involve the foam roller. We'll move the foam roller out of the way. And this one is a specific stretch. There we go. So it's the kneeling hip flexor stretch. So how this one would break down is that we'll go back into standing. So what you can do is you can take a step forward and then kind of bring that back knee down to the ground. And then you can adjust the feet. You can bring the front foot a little bit more forward, the back leg a little more back. Then you're going to tighten up the abdominal area. You can bring the hips forward, and you're looking at stretching out that front of the hip. So you're holding it in a position where you're getting a light stretch in the front of the hip. Perfect. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 2, time would be 10 seconds. So you're holding that end position for 10 seconds. The intensity is light. This is a static stretch, and what we're doing is focusing on stretching out the muscles in the front of the hip in order to loosen up the pelvis so we have better movement in the pelvis, and that pelvis can move into more of a neutral, balanced position. Okay, moving on to the fourth exercise. This one's going to involve the wall again. Good, so with this one, it's posterior pelvic tilts from the wall. So how this is working is just very similar to the very first one that we did. So I'll get you to step away from the wall. So we're finding a wall, we're gonna move towards the wall. You're gonna rest your pelvis, and then low back, and then mid back and head. Our legs are out front. to kind of balance you and prevent you from sliding forward. And then you're going to tilt your pelvis back and then back to neutral and then tilting that pelvis back. Perfect. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 4, time would be smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position. That'd be a second or 2. The intensity for this is light, and the purpose of this is to counteract that anterior pelvic tilt. So what we're doing is, with the anterior pelvic tilt, the pelvis is tilted forward. Now we're working on moving things backwards or posterior, and by doing so, that will help the pelvis move into more of a neutral, balanced position. So there you go. Give those 4 exercises a go in order to help with your anterior pelvic tilt. Now, if you're suffering from any type of hip pain or tightness, what I recommend you do is click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tips and Tricks That Fight Hip Pain and Tightness. Just click right here. Let me know where to send you that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device, tablet, or smartphone, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will be exercisesforinjuries.com/hips. Let me know where to send you that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, you can leave it down below in the comment section. And lastly, hit subscribe to get future pain relieving videos.